ordinance serial number 16-086, and with the Chair's permission, I'd like to offer an amendment.
Go ahead, please.
I move to amend ordinance 16-086 as follows. On page 5 of this ordinance, page 792 of the packet, to make the existing language of 3.60.030 section A, and to add a new section 3.60.03B to read, B, sales within the cities of Palmer, Wasilla, and Houston are partially exempt from the borough sales tax by the amount of sales tax the city separately levies on the same item up to 5% of the sales price. On page 21 of ordinance, page 808 of the packet, section 3, to change the wording of the ballot question to be placed before the voters to read as follows. Shall the Mat Su Borough Assembly enact an area-wide 5% tax on the retail sale of marijuana and marijuana products, and to establish a limited exemption up to 5% for marijuana and marijuana product sales taxed by the cities. So in short, with all the 3 dots and so on, the proposal would simply make a 5% sales tax throughout the borough, notwithstanding what the cities did, and that was the purpose of the amendment.
Thank you, Assemblymember Kowalski. May I please clarify on behalf of the borough clerk, in your amendment, final paragraph, I think you misspoke. What you handed her reads, shall the Matanuska Susitna Borough, number 1, enact an area-wide 5% tax, so and so forth, as you read it into the record. But when you read it, you said, shall the Matanuska Susitna Borough Assembly. Can it just be the Matanuska Susitna Borough? Would you please clarify?
Yeah, I made it up. It was a mistake, sorry.
Yeah, it happens to all of us. Thank you, Assembly Member.
Mr. Deputy Mayor.
Yeah, Assembly Member Mayfield, please. On the amendment.
Thank you. I'd like to speak against the amendment. The suggested rate of 5% is not an outrageous amount, and keeping it area-wide is certainly proper in my mind. Some in the industry, the cannabis industry, have suggested taxes as high as 10%. And so 5% certainly isn't unreasonable. You know, we've heard public testimony from City of Houston tonight, and you know, they have some concerns about capping taxes, and that's certainly understandable. However, you know, the reality is that marijuana will likely become a commodity of convenience, just like cigarettes or liquor. You're going to be there, and you're going to buy the product. That even becomes more inevitable if Houston is the only area in the borough that allows commercialization of marijuana. The borough itself is entitled to its full share of revenue from this emerging cannabis industry, regardless of the outcome of the upcoming voter election. And we don't have to, and I truly don't believe that we should take a subverted role to the cities in marijuana taxation. The citizens who supported legalization of marijuana as part of their campaign to legalize it encouraged government to tax the product. We want the citizens of the Mat Su Valley to do so as a small measure to shift the taxpayer burden away from property taxes. And for some time now, we've been searching for new revenue. This is low-hanging fruit. We should take advantage of it. You know, for the equipment engaged in this industry, you know, that it's only proper that it contributes to governmental oversight and contribute to the Mat Su economy in a productive way. You know, they should pay their fair share, both at the city level and at the borough level. It shouldn't be exclusive of one another. the suggested amendment also creates some conflict in the item that's going to be on the ballot. First, you're asking for a area-wide tax, and then you're saying, oh, well, you know, let's exclude the city, or exclude them partially. So, you know, there's a conflict there. There may be people who decide not to vote for it because they see the conflict. You know, I urge you to vote against it.
Thank you, Assemblymember Mayfield. Further discussion on the amendment? Assemblymember Culligan.
Well, Mayfield has one thing right, it's that the major discussion this last year and at the ballot box at state level was about the tax. The thing that I like and will support about the amendment is it's more similar to alcohol tax, et cetera, within the cities, and I think it's reasonable and that we need to move forward. We do have some questions about the documents provided to us and other stuff about the initiative on the ballot, but at the end of the day, in order for the public to make an informed decision, especially when taxes are a major part of that discussion, we need to have what the tax policy is going to be out in front of the public before any election so that they know all the facts rather than all these red herrings flying around and all sorts of stuff going on. So at the moment, I'm going to support the amendment. I think it's reasonable and I think it is more familiar to us as how we work with the cities and handle alcohol and other stuff.
Thank you, Assemblymember Culligan. Is there further discussion on the amendment? Is there objection to the amendment? I've heard some objection. Is that still there, Mr. Mayfield? Mr. Mayfield, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm sorry, Mr. Deputy Mayor, I'd actually like to offer a secondary amendment.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to move that the amendment read as follows. Sales within the city of Palmer, Wasilla, and Houston are partially exempt by 1%. And that the ballot language be amended to establish a limited exemption of 1% for marijuana and marijuana product sales taxed by the city.
Thank you, Assemblymember Mayfield. On the secondary amendment, is there any discussion? Is there objection?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Sorry, Deputy Mayor. The thing is that the amendment as stated could exempt cities from as much as 5%. And basically that would then totally exempt cities. Cities could raise their taxation on marijuana to 5% and the borough would collect nothing. So I'm simply offering this amendment as a compromise. I truly don't believe in it. I do believe that the borough is entitled to full taxation benefits from cannabis. But as a compromise, I'm going to concede 1%.
Thank you, Mr. Mayfield. Is there further discussion on the secondary amendment? Is there objection to the secondary amendment? Mr. Kowalski does object. Madam Clerk, would you please take a vote on the secondary amendment?
Assemblymember Culligan.
No.
Assemblymember Beck.
No.
Assemblymember Mayfield.
Yes.
Assemblymember Kowalski.
No.
Assemblymember McKee.
No.
Assemblymember Doty. No. It fails with Assemblymember Mayfield in support.
Thank you. We're back to the primary amendment. Assemblymember McKee.
I would move that we postpone ordinance serial number 16088 until the second meeting in October 2016.
On the motion to postpone till the second meeting in October 2016, Assemblymember Culligan.
I would discourage and vote against it. We're heading to an election and we're also at this pivot point around the election. The taxation is one of the major tenets of this discussion in the public. And to not have that out there or a stake in the ground or the public understand what that is or part of the discussion, just allows for too much manipulation. I think it's going to add to more confusion about the actual discussion. And so I'm just going to say no, thank you.
Assemblymember Kowalski.
Yeah, and I heartily agree with the Assemblymember Culligan. I think we need to move with this, and the sooner the better, get it on the ballot and have that clarity.
Okay, so Assemblymember McKee.
Look, we're gonna have an election on October the 4th. That's gonna decide whether we do anything at all on this, okay? I'm 79 years, 8 months old. We wasted 15 minutes of my precious time talking about something that may not happen. Okay, it's ridiculous. That's why I think we ought to postpone it till something happens.
I would have baked a cake if I had known it was your 8th birthday. On the motion to postpone, I've heard objection. Madam Clerk, could you please call the vote on the motion to postpone to August or October 18th? Is that it? Thank you.
Assemblymember Beck.
No.
Assemblymember Mayfield.
Yes.
Assemblymember Kowalski.
No.
Assemblymember McKee.
Yeah.
Assemblymember Doty. No. Assemblymember Culligan.
No.
It failed with Assemblymember Mayfield and McKee in support.
Thank you. Back to the primary amendment offered by Mr. Kowalski. We've discussed this. I've heard objection. Can we vote on the amendment, please? Madam Clerk, could you call the vote?
Assemblymember Mayfield.
No.
Assemblymember Kowalski.
Yes.
Assemblymember McKee.
No.
Assemblymember Doty. Yes. Assemblymember Culligan.
Yes.
Assemblymember Beck.
Yes.
Primary amendment passes with Assemblymember Mayfield and McKee opposed.
Now we're to the main motion as amended. Is there objection?
Yes.
Oh, we got another amendment, excuse me. Assemblymember Kowalski.
Yes, I would like to amend for title, that the title be for 16-086 on the ballot, area-wide retail sales tax of 5% on marijuana and marijuana products with a limited exemption for sales tax paid to cities.
Madam Clerk clarified that there was no title and she wanted one added, so thank you, Assemblymember Kowalski. Is there discussion on the amendment? Is there objection to the amendment? Hearing and seeing none, the amendment passes. Now we are back to the main motion as amended. I've heard objection. Can we take the vote? Madam Clerk, would you please call the vote?
Assemblymember Kowalski.
Yes.
Assemblymember McKee.
No.
Assemblymember Doty. Yes. Assemblymember Culligan.
Yes.
Assemblymember Beck.
Yes.
Assemblymember Mayfield.
Yes. And I'd like to bring it up to reconsideration.
Passed with Assemblymember McKee opposed.
On the
Did you hear
reconsideration.
my comment?
On the reconsideration, yes, Assemblymember Mayfield.
Yeah. Yes, I just want to bring it up for reconsideration in the August 2nd meeting.
If I heard you right, you'd like to take it up reconsideration on August 2nd?
That's correct.
Okay, on the reconsideration, would anybody like to? Huh?
At this point, the reconsideration, he can either reconsider it right now, or he can file something by tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon by 5 to get it on the 8-2 agenda. So he's expressing his intent to file something
defer
tomorrow.
to tomorrow morning.
So there's no voting on that, Deputy Mayor.
We can do yours, we can do both. You want to reconsider right now?
Reconsider twice.
No, I prefer to go ahead and reconsider tomorrow morning. I'll send my reasons into the clerk.
All right, thank you. Can I clarify the question that the borough manager just asked?
To get anything on the ballot, it needs to be adopted by August 5th. The last regularly scheduled meeting the Assembly has is August 2nd. So we still have the August 2nd meeting.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Would someone please move to extend our meeting to a even more ridiculous later time?